Dan, fifth son of Jacob and firstborn of Bilhah. The name Dan means judge. Dan was originally allotted coastal territory near modern Tel Aviv, but failed to hold it against Philistine resistance. They were described as a small group of very skilled warriors. The tribe migrated north, captured the city of Laish, renamed it Dan, and established one of the two royal sanctuaries later used by King Jeroboam, a site the biblical authors associated with unauthorized worship and idolatry. Dan was the first tribe in Israel to introduce idol worship, a fact the book of Judges documents in detail. Dan is the only tribe completely absent from the genealogical list in 1 Chronicles, and the only tribe missing from the 144,000 sealed in Revelation chapter 7, replaced there by Manasseh. Early church father Irenaeus in the 2nd century CE was the first to formally argue that the Antichrist would come from Dan, citing Jacob's deathbed blessing, in which Dan is described as a serpent by the road, a viper along the path. Hippolytus of Rome expanded the same argument shortly after the prophet Jeremiah, when describing approaching destruction, also connects the source to Dan specifically. Judah, fourth son of Jacob and Leah. The name Judah means to praise, though not the firstborn. Jacob's blessing explicitly granted leadership to Judah's line with the declaration that the scepter shall not depart from Judah. The tribe settled in the hill country of southern Canaan. Judah produced the royal lineage beginning with King David around 1000 BCE. After the kingdom divided, Judah survived the Assyrian conquest that destroyed the north and lasted until the Babylonian conquest in 586 BCE. It was predominantly Judah's members who returned from exile and reconstituted Israelite society. The word Jew and the religion Judaism both derive directly from this tribe's name, making Judah's designation the linguistic foundation of an entire civilization. Joseph and why there are two tribes, Ephraim and Manasseh. Joseph was the 11th son of Jacob and Rachel's firstborn. He received no tribe bearing his name. Instead, his two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, each became full tribes. The reason is structural. When the Levites were consecrated as priests and removed from the territorial allotment system, a gap opened in the count of 12 landholding. Jacob resolved this by adopting Joseph's two sons as his own, granting each full tribal status. Ephraim grew so dominant that the prophetic books of Hosea, Isaiah, and Jeremiah use Ephraim as a synonym for the entire northern kingdom of Israel. Levi, third son of Jacob and Leah. Levi participated alongside Simeon in the massacre of Shechem, which earned him Jacob's deathbed curse to be scattered and dispersed across Israel. The Levites were indeed scattered, assigned 48 cities distributed across every other tribe's territory with no land of their own. However, the nature of that dispersal was transformed. When Israel worshipped the golden calf at Sinai, the Levites alone rallied to Moses and carried out judgment on those who broke the covenant. From that moment, God designated Levi as the priestly tribe. Levi produced Moses, Aaron, and the entire priestly line that maintained Israelite worship for over 1,000 years. Benjamin, 12th and final son of Jacob, and Rachel's second child, the only son born in Canaan rather than Mesopotamia. Rachel died giving birth to him near Bethlehem and named him Ben-Oni, son of my sorrow. Jacob renamed him Benjamin, son of my right hand. The tribe received a small but strategically critical territory between Judah and Ephraim. The first king of unified Israel, Saul, came from Benjamin. The judge Ehud, who assassinated the Moabite king Eglon using a concealed double-edged blade, was from Benjamin. The apostle Paul, who wrote the majority of the New Testament epistles and carried Christianity across the Roman Empire, explicitly identified himself as a member of the tribe of Benjamin in his letter to the Philippians. Reuben. Reuben was the firstborn son of Jacob and Leah. His name means, "Behold a son," as the firstborn Reuben held legal rights to the double inheritance, the priestly role and leadership over his brothers, the three most valuable privileges in ancient Near Eastern society. He forfeited all three when he violated Bilhah, his father's concubine. Jacob stripped him of every birthright before his death, calling him unstable as water. The tribe settled east of the Dead Sea in territory corresponding to modern Jordan. They declined steadily in population and military significance and were among the first deported during the Assyrian campaigns of 722 BCE. After that, they disappear entirely from the historical record. Naphtali, sixth son of Jacob and second son of Bilhah. The name Naphtali derives from the Hebrew word for struggle. The tribe's territory covered the highlands of Upper Galilee and the western shore of the Sea of Galilee. Naphtali's general Barak, alongside the prophetess Deborah, led the coalition that defeated the Canaanite forces of Sisera near the Kishon River. Naphtali's territory was among the first conquered by the Assyrians in 733 BCE predating the fall of Samaria by a decade. The prophet Isaiah named Naphtali as a land that would one day be made glorious, a passage the Gospel of Matthew cites in connection with Jesus beginning his ministry in Galilee.